This is Access to LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the October 6th meeting of the LaPorte County Alcoholic Beverage Commission. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
So, yeah.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you to the LaPorte County Alcohol and Tobacco Board on this 6th day of October. The members, forget that. Are there any remonstrators in the audience? Now that's an individual that wants to speak for or against a bar operation. Is there any remonstrators here? There are none. Okay. All those individuals that are going to be coming before the board and speaking, if you will stand and raise your right hands to be sworn. Okay. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury that the answers that you gave on your application or any testimony you give to any questions asked by the board will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody said I do it. Okay. Starting out, board number 1.
So members of this board.
Yeah, the members of this board. Yeah, I'm one of those, right?
Introduce the members of Board 1.
Board number 1 is Barry Nostine, Michigan City.
John McDaniel, LaPorte County. Ron Schaefer, LaPorte County.
And Michelle Trauber with State Excise Police.
Okay. The first cases we'll hear is a lengthy one and probably will empty out most of the people here, are automatic renewals where there has not been any problems in the past, the most recent past. The first one is the Veterans of Foreign Wars, which is located on Earl Road, Michigan City. Veterans of Foreign Wars in Rolling Prairie, Indiana. Me and My Bar, which is located on Dunes Highway in Michigan City. Serenity Springs Incorporated, which is located on US 35 in LaPorte. Harry's Petroleum Incorporated, located on Johnson Road in Trail Creek. Caitlin's GAO, which is located on Franklin Street in Michigan City. Dolgen Corp. LLC, which is located on Highway 35 in Kingsbury, Indiana. And Harrow's Supermarket, which is located at 1708 Franklin Street in Michigan City. Those are all automatic renewals. Do I have a motion from anybody on the board?
So moved.
I got a motion to carry?
Motion.
To approve all of these, just what we're talking about.
I'll
All those-
second.
Pardon?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. So all of those folks, if you happen to be here, you can leave.
Is there anyone here from any of those locations? No one from any of those locations? Oh, what place?
Serenity Springs.
Do you have questions for us? No? Okay, good to go.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, we still have a lot of business to take care of. I was hoping to clear the room.
I knew you weren't gonna have that much luck.
Okay, next on the agenda is a hearing for Waterford Inn, which is located on Johnson Road. Is there anybody here from Waterford Inn? If you'll come forward and please be seated.
This is RR 46385454. It is a renewal after evaluation. Can you state your name, please?
Valerie Brady.
I finally get to put a face with the name.
Yes.
A lot of emails, but we've never officially met. And you are the owner.
I am.
Okay, so this was an alcohol compliance check that occurred back in August of this year. I think that was the week before you took over, or week after you took over, or?
I took over in April,
Okay.
so
Okay.
this was a few months after I took over.
Okay, and the transfer just took place like last month or something, didn't it? Or did that happen in April too?
Yes.
Oh, it's just been longer than I thought. Okay. All right, so you paid a $1,000 fine.
I did.
So I guess tell the board why this happened and what are you doing to prevent it from happening again?
So I had hired a manager who had many years of experience. She had come from Blue Chip, and she was the bartender on duty that day that actually served the minor that came in with excise. So she was terminated that day.
I think if I remember right, it was like shift change or something, wasn't it?
It was getting to be shift change.
She
yes.
was, okay. All right. So, I mean, we don't like to hear about people losing their jobs. People make mistakes, you know, so I guess, you know, I mean, yeah, it sends a quick message to your other employees, but what are you going to do long term? Because in 6 months or a year, everybody's relaxed again. There's another shift change. Things change.
I stress to them daily because we are getting busier. We've made a lot of improvements, and you know, hiring bartenders is a challenge. And so I really try to screen. I try to get experienced bartenders, and I just repetitively, you know, say you got a card. Even if they're regulars, they still have to have a license when they're in our facility. So I'm well aware of that.
Have you ever owned a bar before?
No, this is my first one.
Because I'll tell you right now, I know what I told you that day when we approved you was that it's very complicated. There's a whole book that's published on the rules and regulations of maintaining and owning a bar. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you can't just lay it off on somebody else. What you might want to do, does your cash register when you ring out, does it have to, do you have to type in maybe an ID?
No, I don't.
You might want to look into that.
Okay.
Because that's what you do first before you put that beer out there, and then it saves you $1,000. That might have bought you that register.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yes.
So, until then, I'd have a sign everywhere. If you got beer in on the counters or what have you, or in ice things, put ID, you know, drive it into their heads.
Yes.
And otherwise, you're gonna end up back here again. And we don't wanna see that.
Yes.
Rather see you succeed
I don't.
than to have to pay, and you found out the hard way.
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, that's all I have to say.
I don't have anything.
No, I'm good. I would make motion to renew for 1 year. And keep it in mind.
Go ahead.
Second?
All those in favor?
I
Aye. I don't want to see you here again this next year.
Amen. I don't either.
next time around, we want you to be one of those automatics.
Yes.
You don't have to show up.
Thank you. so
Thank
much.
you.
Well, next is a transfer, and it's Farina's Belly Flop Incorporated, located on Lawrence Street in Long Beach, Indiana.
It's RR4639191. Thank you.
A belly flop in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, my man.
Looks like you're in a swimming pool.
Nice to meet you. I'm Anthony Novak. I'm Farina's Belly.
You're probably the lawyer, right?
I'm probably that guy.
I figured you were
this is
either,
Yvonne.
I figured you either worked for a funeral home or you were, since we're here on alcohol,
Hey.
you would be on.
Feels like a funeral home someday.
All right.
All right, so this is a transfer of the alcohol permit. They posted the orange sign, affidavit is received. All right, so you're biting off a big chunk of stuff lately, right?
It's been challenging here, yes. There's a lot of growth going on.
Yeah, you just got a new one on Franklin. Remind me, when's that opening?
Most likely 4 weeks,
Okay,
just building.
got it. And then taking on Belly Flop. So tell us what this business is all about.
Belly Flop was a business that was previously put together by a friend of ours, Britt Whitfield, and her team. And she did it basically for the community and just for the children to enjoy the ice cream and donuts. She also wanted the parents to enjoy themselves, and she has beer and wine with sandwiches and salads. So we've taken the menu a little bit further, and in the summertime mostly we do more sandwiches and salads. But right now it's just the donuts and coffee and just Saturday mornings.
And this is a two-way?
It is, and usually they close, it's only seasonal, but we are trying to keep it open on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, just because there's still a lot going on in the neighborhood. There's a lot more growth, and people really come to enjoy the coffee is in walking distance and
Now,
donuts.
I heard from the comments here, you obviously, you've been in the business for a while,
I don't want to age myself, but yes.
so I'm not going to preach to you what I just preached to the little
God,
lady
no.
just starting out.
I've been doing
Okay.
It's rough. It is rough out there because, there's a lot of things that happen and your head is turned the other way and it's like, so.
Is it difficult getting staff now?
It is so difficult. I was bringing staff from Chicago to help us. Yeah, you can't find anyone.
Wow.
And when they do work, they work when they want to work. So they tell me what their schedule is. Even though I stomp my feet, it doesn't matter. I've learned a whole new life in this business of where everyone is today. And it's not the 6-day-a-week restaurant business anymore. It's 3 and 4, they make their money and then they don't come back.
Wow.
Yeah. It's tough.
Okay.
So the hours of Belly Flop used to be seasonal, but you're going to try to stay open Saturdays and Sundays?
Keep open through December for the holidays and then maybe take some time off before spring.
Okay.
So it just depends on how much we can get everyone still coming out.
Okay. And with alcohol service, you still have to have the equivalent of hot soup, hot sandwiches, coffee, pop, and milk. So even if it's like a breakfast sandwich, because
Right.
you're doing a
We have the
mimosa with the
bagels.
donuts or something. Yes, a
We
bagel
have all the
sandwich.
bagels.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
croissants and stuff.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Anybody else have any more questions?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
By and have
I
a
need a
donut.
motion.
Yeah. I love donuts.
Motion to approve.
Did you make a motion?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a
Ron,
motion. All those in favor?
we got to have a second.
Motion.
We need a second.
Motion.
You're second.
Yeah, I stop.
Okay.
Okay.
All those, my hearing aids are not working today, I'll tell you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Good.
Good luck to
Next
you.
week I'll have
You
a
sound
ball-
like things are
next month
going
I have a
really
ball
good.
Oh,
for
they're
you.
sweet. It's really sweet to see the kids come in.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. You too.
Next we have Barker Mansion. Come on up, folks. How are you?
Good morning. Good. Yeah, thank you.
Did you buy
All right.
Barker Mansion?
No, I'm just a contractor there, sir.
This is RR 4639298.
Yes, so this is a transfer of ownership. This is McGinnis Pub, and it's being transferred to the Barker Mansion, which is an adjacent property. And they're going to completely renovate the pub. That's his job.
I'm sorry, can I stop you and have you state your name?
I'm so sorry. Yes,
Thank you.
Angela Krahulik with Ice Miller on behalf of the applicant.
And my name is Andrew Skia. I'm with Marquis Electric, and we're the general contractor for the renovations at the adjacent property, the Barker Mansion. And we're going to be the renovator for the formerly McGinnis Pub, representing the Barker Welfare Foundation.
Okay, Andrew, can you spell your
Sounds like
last
you're
name
gonna
for
be
me,
busy.
please?
SKWIAT.
Thank you. Okay. All right, so continue, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I'm sorry about that. So they are going to be placing the permit in escrow during the renovations. I think the timeline for completing renovations, and they're not even exactly sure what they're going to do until they get possession and go in and kind of really assess everything. But I think the timeline for completing those renovations will be next spring, spring of 2023. And then we'll pull the permit out of escrow and put it into use.
Okay, so, business as we know it right now, they really have no idea what they're doing? Is it gonna be bar, family?
They're thinking maybe more of an event type of space, used not on a daily basis.
Okay.
Because that's what they do with the Barker Mansion next door. It does not have an alcohol permit.
Okay.
So the hope is they could use the catering permit in connection with this business as well.
Okay, get a catering and endorsement and then cater to the mansion.
Yes.
Got it.
And then also have events at the new location, the former pub.
Yep.
They bought the adjoining lot, also there was a vacant lot in the middle, which they purchased. So now the mansion, they have the vacant lot between the mansion and the pub. So formerly, the mansion was under ownership by the city. The foundation had turned it over to the city, Michigan City. Don't date me on this. 20 years ago, maybe that's a loose guess, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then currently the family has got back involved, took possession of the mansion back from the city of Michigan City, going through a complete remodel there, and now they're all behind it, they're all involved. They've been involved with LaPorte County heavily for over a century, and now they're very involved, and they want to expand their involvement in the community, so they purchased the lot, they purchased the pub, they're going to renovate the pub, make the whole area one space, and then this would help them do what they want to accomplish there.
You can renovate the mansion also?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, we have been for 2 years already. We're about done.
Leave
So it's the
bullet
Parkers.
hole in the cabinet.
There is, I see it all the time.
Yes, there is.
So it's the Barker
Frame it or
family?
something.
Yes, it's the Barker family.
Okay. So I saw like a brick wall that looked like it came up to the alley. Is there
That's
an
the
alley?
garden, there's an alley there.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then where it looks like McGinnis had kind of like a patio or something,
So they-
that's the lot?
No, there's actually a green space there, a lot between the patio and the alley.
Oh,
So it'd be east of the patio, west of the brick wall we're talking about, there's a green space they purchased there.
okay, thank you. All right. Yeah, sounds great.
So
I don't know.
we were there Tuesday, closing set for October 12th, to get already, they let us through for a walkthrough. They want to start today at closing the 12th on the renovations. They're very anxious and hope to be complete by April of 2023.
Okay.
So the mansion itself kind of stays as it was?
It does, that's correct.
Okay. So we're not losing anything with that?
No.
You're doing the space in between primarily?
All the mansion renovations have been historical in fashion, mainly meant to preserve what's there, because there was some stuff that was getting aged and it needed some work, not as far as updating, just as far as preserving the history so it could go another 100 years.
So is McGinnis building property, is that historic in any way, or is that just like a house built after the fact?
It would be in the historic district.
It's in the district,
Yes,
yeah, but
it
it's
is
not a
historic.
designated specific historic.
Yeah, Michigan City doesn't have a historic district as far as alcohol permits are concerned.
Just as
but-
far as my work for exterior renovations or changes would fall under the historic guidelines from a construction standpoint.
Okay.
I went down that wormhole when we were applying. I was like, oh my, it's in a historic district. But then I talked to Jeff Coyle at the ATC and he's like, yeah, but it's not a historic district permit, so you don't have to go do all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know if McGinnis building was going to have to conform with historic requirements too, if it was like a historic building.
I would assume so, yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. All right.
Anybody else have any further questions?
Nope.
Can I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nobody opposed. Have a good day.
Angela, do you need a escrow form or do you have
I
one?
think we already submitted one,
Okay,
so
with the
I saw it in
application.
here, yeah.
Got it. All right.
All right,
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everybody. Have a good day.
You too.
That's all I have on the agenda. Obviously, there's something else going on. Something that I don't have.
I will make a motion that we approve the September minutes for Board 1 as written.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
How about two? Or did you do
Okay.
a couple?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the September minutes for Board 2.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Okay. Now Board 1 is adjourned. We'll call to order Board 2. The reason why we have two different boards is, and we need to introduce everybody, is because Board Barry is not on Board 2, unfortunately, and our member is not present. So on Board 2 is myself, Michelle Trauber with State Excise Police.
Ron Schaefer, LaPorte County.
Second?
Nope, John.
What?
Your name. You're on the board. John McDaniel is on the board too. So automatic renewals, everybody's been sworn in still, so automatic renewals is J&J Pizza Shack of LaPorte. That's the only automatic I have on Board 2. Do I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, JJ Pizza Shack. So do you have questions for me? All right, you're free to go. As long as it's automatic renewal, you don't have to come.
We were just having issues because my husband passed away and it transferred all over to me.
Okay. Having issues with what? Did you notify the state?
Yeah, they
And
already have been notified and then I got this little mail.
that's a form letter,
Okay, yeah.
just saying you're on the agenda today? Yep. Do you have questions, need guidance? ATC is helping you through?
Yep, they are.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thanks.
Thank you.
And yes, last but not least is DL 4620570, Aldi number 51, transfer of location to 199 Pine Lake Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Officer Trauber, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, members of the board. Bart Harriman with the Clark Quinn Law Firm. With me today is Andrew Hartkorn. Andrew is a district manager at Aldi. He oversees 5 different locations, and I've got my glasses today too. So one in Chesterton,
You want me to
Michigan
hold that
City.
for you?
I appreciate it. My arms aren't quite long enough.
Right?
Chesterton, Michigan City, Plymouth, and LaPorte. So this is just a change of location. They've been operating here in LaPorte since 2014, no violations. They've got 86 stores, and in the last 3 years, I think they total have 5 violations. I know they had one in Plymouth, I think, last
Yep,
week.
I just saw you Tuesday.
Exactly. So that's one of the 5, or one of the 5 in the last 3 years. They've got excellent policies. They've got an excellent record of compliance, and happy to answer any questions you may have. They card everybody 40 and under, although each district manager has the right to require IDs for everybody, and Andrew does that. So he requires all IDs, and again, it's fairly good policy, but happy to answer any questions.
So this will be moving from the other store to the new location?
Which is just literally, I think I can throw a rock and hit it from here, is that right? Yeah. I mean, I gotta,
Which
used to have a good
of course,
arm.
I couldn't throw a rock.
So Andrew, I know just seeing you Tuesday, we kind of went through some of this stuff for the board for the violation. So you're repeating it for me, but obviously everybody else is new. So if you can kind of tell them, I know is this store going to have some of the self-scans?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah.
so kind of tell them how the ID checking is going to work with that,
Yeah.
and what the registers do or don't do when they scan an alcoholic beverage and things like that.
Of course. So just so you guys know, so again, it's going to be a brand new store. Open up November 10th in about less than 5 weeks here. So we're going to have self-checkout over there, as well as just regular checkouts that you see anywhere else. So in terms of the differences between the two, so the regular registers, again, you scan a bottle of wine and it flags more or less a saying that says that, does the age meet the criteria? So the cashier can either put yes or no. If they're over, again, 40 years old, they'll put yes. If they put no, we are required to put their birth date into the system that will alert us whether they are above age or not of obviously age there. So that's what that register looks like. In terms of self-checkout, same thing kind of applies there. So whenever someone does apply or scan a bottle of, wine, beer, you name it, it's going to be an intervention at the self-checkout. So what that means is whenever that intervention does flag, the manager on duty or whoever is overlooking that front end of the store will go to that self-checkout and visually see that that person is of age. Then they'll put it into the system as well. Then they can obviously buy their alcohol.
I'm not smart enough to do self-checkout. I just do the other one.
Yeah, I said, I'll be honest, I was a little disappointed because I think Aldi is so efficient already with their checkout system that I didn't see a need for self-checkouts. Most people go to Aldi to buy a cartload of groceries for the week. They're not buying one or two things. So I went into a store and there was 2 regular lanes and 7 self-checkouts. And I was like, what have they done? But this is my professional / consumer observations. So, like I said, and that's only speaking highly of Aldi, that they're already super efficient.
This is part of a $3 billion investment in new stores and renovating stores in the U.S. in the next few years. And so they're bigger, better stores, better lighted, more variety. And it's part of that movement.
And somebody pointed out to me, which I didn't look at this aspect of it. Like I said, I'm looking at it like a consumer. They said, yeah, but they can't get employees.
Yeah.
So hence, you have to have the self-checkout, because you can't find workers, so staff. And I was like, oh, good point. I guess I didn't look at it like that. So
It's tough.
yeah.
I represented a restaurant client the other day in Hamilton County that they usually have 35 employees on staff. They only had 12 in total and only 3 on that day because they can't hire enough people.
Is this because the federal government's still paying these people to not work?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know how people are surviving. I don't know where they get their
I think
money.
people got out of the habit of working. It just, it
Yeah, but
used to
how
be a
did
habit of working. Now you didn't have to do it anymore.
I know. I still don't understand how they're eating and paying the lights, but I don't
want to work anymore.
Right? Me neither. I want to learn how to do that plan.
7 more years.
Motion approved.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Got a motion. Do I have a second?
Approve.
Second. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Nope.
All right.
I'm not, and I can't vote.
Thank you for your time today.
All right. Yeah.
So
Good
much.
luck.
Thank you very
And
much.
I think that you were contacted about a final. It's not quite ready. I thought it was ready, but it's not quite.
Yep, that's okay. Do you got my number or my email or
Yes,
anything?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just give me just give me about the end of October.
Sounds great.
About the 25th maybe. Throw that out to me and I'll make sure I get over here.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
I have one question for you.
Yes, sir.
It's just something I'm curious about.
Yeah, of course.
How many stores do you manage?
5. So 5 personally. Yeah, quite a bit on the plate. But
Tylenol is one of your favorite pills?
I'm sorry. Yeah, right. Yeah.
You're young, you can do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
It's sustainable for now.
Do you have kids yet?
No kids.
Okay,
No
see,
kids.
no kids.
Work.
Yep.
So,
That'll change.
yeah. Thank you
Do
very
it while you
much.
can. That's the
Appreciate it.
thing.
Thanks, guys.
You too.
Thanks.
All right, and we already approved the minutes for September, so unless there's any other business, Board 2 is adjourned. Meeting is adjourned. Okay.